question for the rest of America. Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Does anyone even care?
Hey girl, as a Texan from a cattle ranching family now living in Florida, we did. We cared about y'all so much. That's why we told y'all for so long. Gosh, I've been screaming it for, I don't know, since at least, I don't know, the Tea Party. 08, 09? We broke it down, Project 2025, over and over. Y'all didn't listen. So now my only responses is first, bless your fucking heart. Second of all, this is what you voted for. So they're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So there is a viral debate going on. Does anyone even care about Nebraska? Where after voting for Trump and his policies, Nebraska is now dealing with worker shortage, struggling farms and possible bankruptcy, and now folks are asking for sympathy. But here's the thing, people want them, they just didn't listen. So today we are breaking down what's happening, why people are reacting this way, and what lesson can we learn from Nebraska's FAFO moment. Let's get into it.
Involved in all of the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis. So sis, when you're asking, does anybody care about Nebraska? The first people you should be asking that question to are the people who went to the ballot box and voted for someone who does not have your best interests at heart.
As a Nebraskan, I have to chime in with, does anybody care about Nebraska? Not anymore. I did when I went to the polling place and cast my vote for Harrison Walls. I don't anymore because y'all voted for who you voted for. So no, I don't care even a little bit. Sucks to suck.
Nebraskans walked into the voting booth and overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump to be president, and now you're feeling the effects of that? This isn't I told you so. This is an FAFO. And I know there are Nebraskans out there that voted for Kamala Harris and did not fall into the trap of Donald Trump. Unfortunately, there were not enough of you. And now the rumors, and I'm having a hard time substantiating some of this, but the vibe that's going around is that Nebraska basically looks to be bankrupt in about 6 months because of the undocumented migrants that are being deported, or just the fact that undocumented migrants make up a large portion of their state and workforce on the farms, and they're not showing up to work because they're now afraid they're going to be deported. So Nebraskans, especially farmers in Nebraska, did you think any further?
What's going on, y'all? My topic for today is, yes, we care about Nebraska. Before I start, it's just my opinion. If you don't like what I'm about to say, there's no need for you to get mad at me and try to cancel me. But y'all seen the videos of people asking, do y'all care about Nebraska? You know, Nebraska is on the edge of being bankrupt, you know, because their farm industry is heavily affected now that ICE has been going after their workers, you know. So to answer the question, yes, people care about Nebraska. People say mean and hurtful things about Nebraska. Those same people care. Here's where it comes down to. In order for us to unite, I feel like it's going to take, in this instance, it's going to take the citizens of Nebraska to dig deep and answer one basic question. Why did you vote the way you did? And this question has to be answered in order for us to go forward. We need to understand the whys. What led people down this road? That way we can be aware and they will not go down this road again. What were the key words that were said to you?
So the big question on TikTok right now is, does anybody care about Nebraska? Super quick. Is this y'all? Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off this early. So first of all, no one gives a fuck that that's happening to you. You deserve it. Second of all, next time that there is an election, let's not be so simple-minded. Especially when the man that you're voting for literally fucking told you he would cut federal funding for your farms. He would deport all of your workers, and now you want us to give a fuck? I'm sorry, bitch. He literally said it in his campaign. Like, do your fucking homework. The worst part, educated individuals like myself voted for you, but guess what? Your vote counts just as much as mine.
What's up, TikTok? It's me, it's Jeremy. It's March 7th, 2025. And so there's a viral trend going on right now, or a category, and it's called, Do You Care About Nebraska? Or, something along those lines. And it has to do with the farmers that are going to potentially lose their farms and their family businesses due to policies changing, and certain government funding being retracted. And so there's this trend going, do you care? Do you care? And, yes, we care. Of course, people care. We care about everyone. But where's the self-accountability coming from? Okay? Because I'm going to point some things out. You guys sold us out a long time ago. Farmers in the United States of America, you sold your fellow citizens out for greed, for money, for subsidies. You've allowed poison to be sprayed all over our food for subsidies, okay? You have given the jobs to the illegal aliens, as they're called, instead of paying your fellow citizens a fair living wage, so you could live on your private acres and have all your big toys and have your own private food that wasn't being sprayed with these chemicals. See, karma is coming home to roost for everyone on this planet. Okay, trust me on that. This is the great trials and tribulations that the good old book talks about, and we're all going to be judged for our lives. Okay, now all is already forgiven. I said that at 144, okay? But that doesn't mean that you're not going to face your karma, okay? You're going to have to go through the cause and effect of decisions that you made for your money and for your greed and for your family's big old better lifestyle. Farmers are the hardest working salt of the earth people we have. It's the first job that matters. It's the only job that matters, is tilling the lands and not having to go chase down wild animals and hunt to eat. Agriculture, seeds that reproduce, trees and fruits and things that reproduce us more abundance than we know what to do with. But you sold it all away. You gave it to the corporations, you gave it to the government, and you sold us out. And now you want to cry out for help because the illegals are leaving your farms because they don't want to get deported, and you're not going to get your subsidies from big government. Okay? Everyone in this world needs to start growing food now. You need to take back that responsibility. You need to be growing something. I don't care if it's in a bucket. I don't care if it's in a gallon milk jug. Plant a seed. Learn what it means to eat your own food that you have grown, that you have taken the time to nurture and feed. And it's not that complicated, guys. I mean, nature really does take care of us if we get out of its way and just kind of help it do its natural thing. Okay? Instead of being disruptive and destructive. Can we just be? All right? I'm telling you, farmers, I know what you're going through. It's going to be a collapse. It's going to be a government takeover. The Bill Gates and China and all them buying up all the farmland. That's a whole nother conversation, right? But as far as you crying right now on social media about you losing your big old acres, your kingdoms within, rural America, you did this to yourself by the decisions your families have made for the last couple generations. You sold us out. You poisoned our food, and now karma's coming home to roost. I'm sorry, I have to call it as it is. Yes, the government's evil. Yes, they're doing this on purpose. Yes, they're coming for your lands. But maybe if you had karma on your side, maybe you would have spiritual protection right now. Because I'm sure the people that did it the right way, I'm sure the Amish, the homesteaders, stuff like that, they're going to be protected. The walls of Jericho will be put up around lands that did it the right way. But if you are one of these people I'm talking about, one of these farms that sold us out a long time ago to this corrupt government, and now you're crying that the corrupt government is coming for you, that's karma, baby. My name's Jeremy. It's March 7th, 2025. Big news coming up with the crypto summit today, the White House crypto summit. So go ahead and keep your eyes on that, guys. And we'll be making videos throughout the day. I love you guys. Please get ready to help one another. Food shortages are coming. Supply chains are going to be disrupted. Farms are being affected. So start growing some food, start stocking up, and be ready to help somebody because, like I said, we're all being judged. See you in the next video.
The reason Nebraska is struggling right now is simple. They voted for the very policies that are hurting them. Trump and the GOP have been very clear about their stance. Mass deportations, cutting federal subsidies, and prioritizing big corporations over small farmers. None of this should be a surprise. Nebraska overwhelmingly supported Trump despite warnings. Now with undocumented workers leaving, farms are struggling, businesses are shutting down, and Nebraska is heading toward bankruptcy. People aren't heartless when they say they don't care. They're just tired of warning folks who refuse to listen. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Nebraska's economy relied on undocumented workers. These workers were doing the jobs that Americans refused to do, keeping farms running and food on the table. Now that mass deportation and anti-migration policies are in full effect, farms are left with no workers and the state is falling apart. The irony, many of these same farmers voted for the very politicians pushing for these policies. One of the biggest issues is that people act like they can ignore politics until it affects them personally. The TikTok video makes a great point. Politics is in everything, your groceries, your healthcare, and your education. Nebraska is learning the hard way that voting isn't just about owning the lip or pushing an agenda, it's a real world consequences. Maybe next time they will think before blindly voting for candidates who don't have their best interest at heart. People say they care about Nebraska, but they also believe in accountability. You can't ignore the warnings, make reckless choices, and then expect sympathy when it all goes wrong. This is why so many people are saying, press your heart and move on, because they are exhausted from trying to warn folks who refuse to listen. Nebraska isn't the first state to F around and find out, and it won't be the last one. The real question is, will they learn from it? Nebraska's situation is a hard lesson in self-accountability. People warned them, they didn't listen, and now they are facing the fallout. But this is not just about Nebraska, this is about Americans as a whole. When you vote against your own interest, when you ignore the impact of policies, this is what happens. Hopefully people are going to pay attention before it's too late. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Do you feel bad for Nebraska or do you think they're getting what they just voted for? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.